Great afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Clarke TV on YouTube, and we are here this afternoon. We're talking about the reframing of the Jamaican Constitution, and we're here with Mr. Clarke. We're going to ask you to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Clarke TV, CLARKE TV. Welcome, Mr. Clarke.
Yeah, welcome to you all, family, friends, subscriber, supporter, the whole works. Big up all of the people and big up yourself, Ethan, Norton, City, Gio, Jojo, boy, me can't be keys, corporate boss, you name it. Me can't remember all of the people still, but all I want to just big up on yourself still and just stay tuned to the process where we are going through it.
Wonderful. So we're talking about the reframing of the Jamaican Constitution. What is the history of the present Constitution?
All right, the history of our present Constitution, if you can see it from 1962 till now in our country, everything we want to see play out, we have to do with the rules and regulation and the regulatory body and the politics of the country go through the Constitution. If this is something that you're all in agreement with and admire and like, I don't see the need for the Constitution to change, if that is the case. But so be it. The Constitution is definitely not producing the things that we're supposed to do, because when the British organized this Constitution, they never have it in a sense for the people of the country, the mass of the people. It was only for their slave masters, them associates, then subjects. And if you check out, I think we do a podcast, me, Ethan and Norton, we have to do with some aspect of the Constitution in some aspects. So upon you pursuing with videos, you will be able to come up on some of these things. But the history of the Constitution, I never, but we as a people and the structuring for we as a people.
Okay, so what about the people's interest in the Constitution and politics in Jamaica? What do you have to say about that?
All right. If you use the same formula in terms of where you have to relate to history, it can tell you what it is all about. The people, the average people or person in Jamaica have no knowledge of the Constitution, right? As we speak at this moment, enough people may lose interest in mere facts, so we have to talk about the Constitution. Majority of the people have no interest in our Constitution because it's not something that teach in schools, right? It's not something that teach in schools. And the next thing, if you look on the politics itself, look on the turnout we have to relate to the percentage of the voters in my country, right? It's in a range between 33% and 20%, and these minimal percentage we never yet have a full turnout of voting, even though you say the politics is like how it is in Jamaica, but at no given time we ever have the full turnout, the maximum turnout of voting with the people. So clearly it shows you the ignorance and the lack of interest in understanding our Constitution and the purpose and the political aspect of it as well.
What do you think is causing that lack of interest?
Well, the lack of interest, is based on the operation of all the things that the people don't normally, when authority, it don't really put towards relating to the people. So in sense of recognizing that division and all these things, they show lack interest in most of these things.
So I think it's ignorance of the Constitution why they're not voting, or is it that something else is a contributing factor?
No, I think sensitization and education is a main factor. Because most people, if you notice, our culture is not a culture where the people read and pursue positivity of information. So under that system, you're not going to be able to have the people, most of the people have this majority interest in these things.
So we need to create a culture of reading then.
Yeah.
There have been talks about Jamaica becoming a republic. What exactly have they been discussing with relation to that?
All right. In previous ministers and leaders of this country did mention going republic even before Barbados actually be a republic. But Jamaica is in the process at this point in time in going republic, right? So we can be able to eliminate some of the things that we have to do with the Queen's control, and we control and responsible for our own issues and situation. So on that grounds, Jamaica, in the framework at this point in time, is in the process of getting themselves prepared to go in that process of being republic.
So how is the republic different from the government that they have now?
Well, the government presently is a Westminster system where we eventually are able to be the group of Queen subjects that have to have visa to go to England.
The Queen is no longer, so it's
Are
now
the
the
King
king.
subjects where have to have visa to go to England, and that is not normally where the Westminster system in broad spectrum where they have to do with all them years until the changes. But I think it's our own direction now for our own identity. That's why we are moving in that direction.
All right, so right now I want to talk about reframing of the Constitution. What exactly is that?
All right, in the process now where Jamaica is at, they select some group of peoples were responsible for the reframing. I cannot tell you all these people, but I think at some point in time they're going to distribute a list. That list, you does not see that list on TikTok. You don't see it, and I think you have to pursue that list. But the people them that is in process now at this point in time, we are dealing reframing the Constitution. That is definitely where we're at, right? We have people from different categories, such as like mostly attorney you mentioned still, and some Queen and King's councils.
So what does the process entail? What exactly are they going to do?
Well, it's a breakdown of all of the things we have to do with the laws, rules, and regulation of our politician and the laws and of the country and of the land and these things.
So the laws already exist. What are they doing?
No, those laws existed under the
British system?
Yeah, the previous constitution. Now this reframing is our own identity.
So in other words, you're saying they're going to amend the laws?
No, not amend. They are reframing it. Yeah. So it's a different constitution in total we're going towards now.
How is the public aware of what they're doing?
Yeah, in some cases.
If so, are these documents available for the public to
It is.
have access to?
It is. But, you know, we as a people, those things, enough people don't recognize the importance of it as yet until they're caught up with where it have to deal with. They will know the true importance of it.
So, what do you think is the correct way for framing the Constitution or reframing the Constitution?
All right. In my opinion and my view, even though in some cases it doesn't really matter to the people in authority at most time, I think every single grouping in Jamaica should have a say or have the opportunity to represent their quarters in the discussion we have to do with the reframing. I can name some. I think the churches, right? Well, it have to do with religion, so you have to find a different religion there as well, right? You have to talk about civil society, because I know everybody a politician, right? I know everybody see things through red and green, orange and black, right? And green. You have people out there who love Jamaica, have interest in Jamaica, no matter which party is there. So the civil society is very important. We have
people in the diaspora, do you think should be a part of it as well?
Yeah, of course. They are Jamaican, no matter which part they go. From them birth paper relate or them blood of Jamaican, they should have a right and a say in it. So even if you select some people from the diaspora in terms of a put on the panel, it's not only the elite groups, right, must be in control of going through the process of dealing with this reframing of the constitution, because it's going to leave some groups of people behind. And knowing our mentality as a people, knowing so we have this tendency to emulate all of the countries them where we selecting some that suppress we as a people. We mostly observe those things instead of to copy the things them we make we better as a people, right? So say we must have to get all of the people involved so we can have a wider scope in terms of the understanding of the laws, rules, and regulations for the people of Jamaica.
Is the general population aware of what the process entails in the reframing of the Constitution?
The general population in Jamaica, just like the one that framed before 1962 or leading up from the history, most of the people never have no much interest in it. And right now, even though the information and technology is at our fingertip and our eyeball, right, we have this tendency if we don't take interest in these things. But I am not seeing from the authority this massive effort in terms of sensitizing the people and the awareness of it. Because we should have said these things like when we are go towards voting for election.
Ads on TV or something?
Yeah, we should say more. Well, I think they goodly mention it in pockets in the social media, or you have to pursue to a certain level in order to get it. But I think they should put out more effort to ensure the majority of the public have more access to it, to the information we have to relate to it.
Okay, so what is the Constitution and what's the purpose of it?
As I mentioned, the Constitution are the main fundamental for us as a people in terms of where the direction, control, regulatory formats, laws, rules, regulate, you name it. That's the purpose of the Constitution. We shape the mind and everything we have to do with the people.
All right, so what types of people or what groups of people does the Constitution represent, or should it represent?
Well, if you look upon where we name there out of many one people, right? So it should represent every single color of Jamaican people. Diaspora, if you are Chinese, Maini, you name the different race look. Once I'm here at Jamaica, the Constitution must represent you. And the mass of the people in full, the Constitution must cover their purpose.
What about the language of the Constitution, the words that are used in it? What do you think about that?
All right, the wording of the Constitution should be simple, right? Not complex. Because if you notice, the previous or the present Constitution, because not change it, you have to get law, you have to interpret the Constitution from some simple being thing we have to do with the common man, right? They put everything we have to do with the Constitution in such a complex way that the regular people cannot comprehend it. So we don't like for this Constitution to be more simplified in terms that people can simple understand what the situation, how it entails, and the movements and how to go about in terms of with it.
All right, so what are your final remarks with this discussion about reframing of the Constitution?
Well, I think it is very important for the Constitution to cover, right, to cover and prevent the two Jamaica system that established in Jamaica at this present time. the classism system, right? And the many portal or entrance and different exits of the Constitution. What we need for have, if we need for have one entrance and one exit, we have to do with the Constitution. So every single man, woman, we're responsible or anything have to do with Jamaica, they go through the same process.
Wonderful.
And on that grounds, you know, in Clarke TV, we are do our best in terms of to sensitize most of our players, supporters, youngsters, subscribers, you name them, so we can simplify our understanding. We have to deal with some issues. Even though this not going to be a video where I go get this whole heap of views and all these things, but knowledge is power. And people will see the importance of videos like these
The
and
importance
podcasts.
of reading, so
Yeah.
start reading,
So-
not just a constitution, but start reading for fun.
So
reading
just
everything.
cause if you look for yourself, look on the type of things them that we discuss about, where enough people go in a pay no interest of such, but they are very realistic, right? So on that grounds, just continue to subscribe to Clarke TV. And I want the people them know, big up all of my subscribers them.
Jesus.
Big up the people in my Savannah, you know. Big up all of the supporting people and we have to do with Clarke TV and the people and we have a good intention for this channel or this video or this YouTube channel to move forward, because we have a lot of things we have to put towards it. Organize with mind, body and soul. So just remember to subscribe to Clarke TV. Bless
All
up.
right.